What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy P. Skip. Welcome to the best half hour of your entire Tuesday. You know what time it is. It's time to get into his course. My squad with me, T-Mac.
Hola.
Chili Will.
Gracias,
Listen, y'all, let's get into this.
Let's do this.
I got Chili with me. T-Mac is on assignment, so he's got some other things to do. But let's jump on into this.
He's at the game in New York with Aaron Rodgers. That's where he at.
That's hilarious. I don't think Aaron Rodgers' own family is there. Like, no way. No one likes dude. So check this out. Let's get into this. Mark chapter 9, verse 35 says this. And he sat down, this is Jesus, and called the 12, that's his disciples, and said to them, if anyone desires to be first, he shall be last of all and a servant of all. So I said that because Deion Sanders, you know, prime time, the same guy who last year was at Jackson State and got vilified for leaving Jackson State, took some of the players from Jackson State. He didn't take them. They wanted to be with him. Transferred over to Colorado. Colorado's first game out is expected to be blown out off the court, out of Texas, and turns around and beats TCU. Now, TCU was a runner-up for the national championship last year. In other words, they were number 2. They lost to Colorado. And a lot of people, you know, kind of gave him the, well, it's only one game. He doesn't deserve any flowers yet. Everybody can, you know, even a broke clock is right twice a day. You know, just poo-pooing on what he's accomplished and what he's done and that win. Just trying to make it nothing and of no significance. He turns around this week and beats Nebraska. But he puts a whooping on Nebraska. And so what do you have to say about this now? What do you have to say about, first of all, a black coach can't be a good coach, head coach. We're not smart enough to be great head coaches. Number 2, HBCUs are the bastard childs of sports and college, period. Educational wise, sports wise, you go there because you have no other choice, because you just aren't good enough to play in the NC2As. 2, 3, HBCU players aren't good enough to beat D1 players. Now, Deion Sanders' son, in his first game against a ranked opponent, a number 17 opponent, threw for over 535 yards. And he says, that's the best outing I've had over anybody. What do you got to say about all that now? Where are the naysayers? Where are the haters? What do you have to say about Deion? You talk about how flamboyant he is. He talks too much. He brags too much. But the problem is, it ain't bragging if you're producing. You know, so, Will, I know you want to say something. I know you just chopping at the bit. Like, just finish so I can get in here.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, everybody talked about his son being Shakur, I think his name is. His son being that good, but the competition level wasn't that good. It was a Division I, but it was a black college. It wasn't Division I 5 level college. But when he went out and had over 500 and something yards against the runner-up for the national championship, he made it plain and he made the statement that, hey, that's the most yards I ever threw for any time in my life. And last year, I was at a HBCU. Right. So go figure. He said that the hits weren't any harder than at Jackson State. The speed of the game wasn't any faster than at Jackson State. And really, honestly, He looked better than I've seen a quarterback look in college, probably ever in that game. I mean, the man was just on target, taking his time, poised, making all the right decisions. I mean, he really put on a professional performance at the college level. And then, like you said, people were saying, well, Deion Sanders can do that at a HBCU because they're not playing any competition. Well, they were ranked number 17. They were favored by 21 points, 21 and a half points over Colorado. And Colorado beat them. The next weekend, you're talking about Nebraska and Colorado. That's a rivalry game. That's like Wisconsin and Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State,
Right.
Alabama and Georgia and all that stuff. It's a big
Alabama,
rivalry.
Auburn.
Alabama, Auburn. It's a big rivalry game like that. And Deion them just straight mopped up the field with them. I mean, just it wasn't even close. They just dominated them. So a lot of people don't want to give him credit. They talked about how he used the transfer portal, that he was a little callous when he told the team when he came in the door. Most of y'all probably need to get into the transfer portal because I'm bringing in some guys that can do what I need done. So for Deion Sanders and for Black college coaches, this was a statement. And right now, if Deion continues to do what he's doing now, you're going to see a lot of other Black coaches get opportunity at the college level. They weren't given opportunity before because the alums and the boards just wasn't comfortable having a Black man leading the football team when at a lot of universities it was basically mostly white men. So this right here is not just good for Deion, not just good for the state of Colorado and Colorado football and college football in general. It also expands the opportunity of some Black former NFL players or guys who coached in the college ranks and maybe in the high school ranks to get opportunities on a major level to coach and lead major university football programs. So I'm happy and excited about it.
Yeah, me too. And there's a few other things that I didn't add. One was when Colorado was 1-15 the year before. You only won one game the entire season. Deion had already doubled in 2 games. He had already doubled what the other coach had done previously. The other thing is you went from not being ranked to going to being ranked 25th after 1 game. The other thing is his son played both ways.
Not his son. His son don't play both ways.
He's got 2 sons.
Oh, his other son play both ways?
He's a corner.
Yeah.
And no. Hurt played both ways. You're right.
Yeah.
And his son is a lockdown corner. They say he's the best corner in college.
Yeah.
He's like his daddy.
Yeah.
Locked down. And then how many players do you know at the D1 level play both ways?
Yeah, that doesn't happen often.
Deion's got a player who did it. And, the thing I love about all this, like you said, it just didn't bring recognition to just Colorado. Deion was a win for HBCUs, period.
Yes.
I was talking to my church Sunday and I said, what Deion Sanders did was turned a mess into marketable merchandise.
Yes.
He turned a mess into marketable merchandise. Because let's just be honest. Do you want a Buffalo's jersey or a sweatshirt or a hat or something?
I already ordered a hat.
See what I'm saying?
I already ordered a Buffalo's hat.
When have you ever wanted Colorado anything?
I didn't even know Colorado was the Buffaloes. I didn't even know. I didn't know they were the Buffaloes.
So that tells you how big of an impact he's made. The amount of money that school is making now, from swag to paraphernalia, from sold out games now. He has changed the culture from a losing culture to a winning culture and not even had a full season with them yet.
Yeah. It's pretty remarkable what he's doing over there. It's really, really a great, and just for just for putting something out on the record. There's not a lot of Black college coaches. It's
No.
just not. It's not. And, you know, those jobs were reserved for European American males. That's what it was reserved for.
Yeah.
So Deion is going to open the door up for some opportunities. But that's the same way the quarterback position was in the NFL.
Exactly.
It was reserved for European American males to have that position. But as of yesterday, the NFL opened with almost half the teams in the NFL starting a Black quarterback.
A Black or mixed.
Yeah, Black
Well,
quarterback.
let me say this: minority quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
Minority.
So that alone lets you know that it wasn't because they weren't qualified. It wasn't because they couldn't do it. It was because we wanted to reserve this privilege for people who we were comfortable with, who looked like us. And
Right.
now, when those people can't produce the kind of wins and the merchandise and the sales and the revenue, well, that's not important anymore.
Right. And butts in the seats.
Yeah, it's not important anymore. So it all boils down to what it always boils down to, and that's the almighty dollar.
Yeah. And I love the theme after they interviewed all of the players and Deion, they all said the same thing. We coming.
Yeah.
We coming. And we kept the receipts.
Yeah.
You know, so all that mess y'all was talking, we remembered who was talking it. We remember. We coming. We coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So let's switch gears over to tennis. Hats off and a huge congratulations to Coco Gauff in winning at the U.S. Open. And her road to the championship had so many issues involved with. One young lady tried to stop her by slowing the game down and taking longer than she should to serve. And then when she lost, she tried to protest, talking about Coco was, because Coco did, when she won, I mean, she did go to the official and say, hey, why is she taking so long to serve? Why is she taking so long in between serves? This shouldn't be taking that long. So the rep, agreed with her. You need to speed this game up. And all it was a tactic to try to get her. And you play basketball. Rhythm is everything.
Everything.
Rhythm is everything. Sports, everything is rhythm. And what she tried to do was get her off of her rhythm because she was giving it to her. And she's like, well, let me slow her down. Let me get her. And she went and did what she could do, which was what Coco could do, which was, let me talk to the ref. Hey, listen, this is intentional. This isn't her regular flow. This isn't her regular rhythm. She's slowing down on purpose. And so the ref called her on it. And afterwards, the girl, or the woman, let me say this, she's a grown woman, was crying, talking about, I wasn't trying to cheat. I think it was unfair that the refs were biased towards Coco. The rules are the rules. If you are trying to stop something because you see you getting your tail whooped and you thinking maybe if I slow them down by me slowing down changes this, and they call you on it, you should be doing what you should be doing. All games have rules. And if you don't like the rules, then play a different game. Coco didn't ask for anything outside of the rules. She asked for what was legitimate and what I was taught from day one by y'all. Y'all told me these rules. Y'all made up the rules. We didn't. And now that I'm using these rules to my advantage, now I'm the bad guy. And so, just some foolishness. And I love the fact that, Coco beat the number 2 player number 1 ranked player in female tennis. And she beat her. She lost the first one 2-6. But then after that, she beat her 6-3 and 6-2. So it was just an amazing comeback for a young lady who could have fallen under the pressure.
Yes.
Who could have collapsed, who could have, I love how the Bible says when you've done all you can to stand, stand. And she did that. She could have very easily said, I'm down to the number 1. It's not a bad thing. she's number one for a reason. But no, Coco went back at her and beat her. You know, did you get a chance to see any of it?
Yeah, I watched a lot of the US Open. This is the most I've watched of the US Open in probably about 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it, and Coco played very well. And from what I've seen in Coco during this U.S. Open and some of the tennis that she's played this year, I watched her when she played in Cincinnati. It's not a major, but it was a nice tournament. Yeah. She won that tournament. But what I saw was the maturing of a young lady. Yeah, you know, because she's a teenager.
Absolutely.
You know, she's an adolescent. She's she's a teenager. So now she's finally an adult. You know, she's finally 18, 19 years old, and she can handle a lot more than she could when she was 16 or 17 years old. So it's good to see her mature like that. And her body got to get to a certain, the rhythm of her body and hand-eye coordination got to catch up with your age. So I think she will be getting better and better from this point on. But the thing that I liked about what Coco did in this tournament was she kind of paced herself and she was poised, because I think in the past, unfairly, it was a lot of pressure on her to win when she really was an adolescent. Right. It was a lot of pressure. And I think she learned how to deal with and handle that pressure and pace herself in a way where she can pick her spots, where she could show that I am a more skilled and I'm highly trained world-class athlete. So I was happy to see that for Coco. But let me say this though, Pastor. The other young lady who lost it, and I think I want to say it's the semifinals, her name is Madison Keys. Uh-huh. Madison Keys' mother is white and her father is Black. Uh-huh. And they asked her about, being, two African Americans maybe meeting in the final. And she said that she doesn't identify with being African American, that she's just Madison, which to me was like the most insane thing in the world you could say, because we know throughout the history of time, if you have one drip of Black blood in you, you're Black. If your father is Black, you're Black. Mm-hmm. I wanted to just jump through the TV and say, Madison, you're Black. You don't have the choice. The choice is not available to you to be Caucasian. It's not a choice. This is, like you said, there's rules to this that somebody made up a long time ago that we've been going by. Right. And the rules say that if you have any Black blood in you, you're Black. My prediction is in the future, because you see a lot of males having babies with white females, that they are going to start giving them the choice. And they're going to say, if your mother is white, you can choose if you Black and white. And that's only coming about because the numbers and the census, and there's less white people and so on and so forth. But I wanted Madison Keys to be in the finals with Coco, because that would have been a historic final between two African Americans. Right. And I want to see how she was going to react to them saying that, because that's the truth. You don't get to choose to be white.
No. And the other piece to that is, and the history has been, when you claim us, we claim you.
Yes.
And we support you.
Yeah.
And we get behind you and we go, that's one of us.
Yeah.
We're going to buy your gear. We're going to be at your games. We're going to follow you.
Turn you on TV, everything. Right. Yeah.
All of that. And so I think you missed an opportunity to gain fans.
Well, I mean, like I said, somebody told her she had the choice, that she could pick and choose. Right. Sorry, it is not a choice. If you got a Black blood in you, you're Black. You don't get to say, I want to be Asian. Right. You don't get to do that.
Right. So, we'll see. Time will tell what she's going to do. But we also know the history of America is she's going to have to make a decision.
Well, I don't think she's got to make a decision. I think the decision's already made. She's Black. I don't care what she say, how loud she say it, what language she say it in. The rules that were made up by whoever make up rules, right. If you have any Black blood in you, you are Black.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I love that the Bible says in Christ there's no Jew, no Greek, no barbarian or Scythian. We all just one. And yes. that's the part where I just wish I wish more people who call themselves Christian would live that way.
Yes.
So let's keep this moving, man. Let's go over to basketball. The FIBA World
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh my God. No. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no. We must talk about it.
Oh my
we
God.
talked about. I don't remember since they started having pros playing in FIBA that we did not get a medal.
I think we've always gotten a medal.
And mainly gold.
Mainly gold, but I think one time we got silver. I think.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember us ever not medaling. And so a few things I saw. First of all, FIBA, everybody else was putting their best out there. Why do we keep putting our second and third tier out there?
Can I answer that? Can I answer
that? Go
that?
for it.
Well, number one, FIBA is the JV game. It's not the varsity. The Olympics is the varsity. And we will put our best people out there for the Olympics. So that's basically what it is. Our big stars don't want to play in the FIBA. They want to play in the Olympics. So when it comes to the Olympics, you will see bigger names and more accomplished people on the Olympic team. The FIBA team is the JV team.
So are they the HBCU?
No comment, Pastor. No comment.
So listen, but even in that, what it showed me, there's definitely some guys that shined in it. Even that JV team, you could see why they're varsity on their teams. You could see why Anthony was doing what he was doing. You could see why New York's point guard Brunson was getting down like he was getting. You could see certain players why they're getting what they're getting and why they're being paid what they're paying and why they're playing the way they're playing. But my question is this. Steve Kerr, are you the same kind of coach that Coach K is and Coach Dean is? You can only coach 5-star superstars and you can't coach the average player to pull the best out of them? I think as bad as the fact that we didn't medal, I think it really is a question mark on Steve Kerr's coaching ability. And that's
you being nice saying question mark. I think it's the exposure. That's what I think it is. But question mark we'll go with.
Because here's the thing. You had the same Golden State team that won a championship. You got some injuries and couldn't make the playoffs. When you had to play with the B roster, you couldn't even make the playoffs. What's really going on? You are coaching, and again, I'll say this until he stops coaching. You won championships with Mark Jackson's team. You didn't win championships with a team you created. You won championships with a team Mark Jackson created and coached. So for me, every time I look at a championship for him, I go, there should be an asterisk. There should be an asterisk. There should be Hey, here's the other thing I just realized. He has also never won Coach of the Year. With all those championships.
I didn't know that.
Do you remember him ever winning Coach of the Year?
I don't remember him winning Coach of the Year, but you would think with the type of talent and the rosters and the records that he's had at Golden State, that it wouldn't be strange for him to have at least one.
I don't remember him winning one.
That year that they almost won, more games than the Bulls. Did they win more than the Bulls that year?
Yeah, they won more.
Yeah, that year he should have won it.
Yeah, and they lost to LeBron.
Yeah, they lost to LeBron. He should have won it that year. Who won it that year?
I am not sure. I'm not sure. But I do know this much. Didn't that streak get stopped by the Bucks?
The Lakers streak did.
Okay.
No, Golden State did too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
Yeah,
Bucks.
Golden State did. It got stopped by the Bucks too. Yeah, it did.
Here in
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
in Milwaukee. Yeah,
You were at that game.
I was at that game. I was. You were at that game.
I was. You know, but what do you think of what is your evaluation of Steve Kerr as a coach?
You know what? I've never really looked at Steve Kerr as a great coach, a great X's and O guy. I think he's a player's coach. I think he knows how to create camaraderie and have people work together. And then with the incident that went on in Golden State this year, I think that was exposed. And I think from that incident to the FIBA games to what's going to happen with them in the NBA season this year, I think Golden State is going to be on its way down. Then when you get to the aging of their superstars, I think Golden State going to be on the way down, and then we'll see what kind of coach Steve Kerr is. And I think that's on the horizon because one by one things are happening. It's showing decline of Steve Kerr as this great X and O and basketball mind. I think that's starting to show.
I'm going to say this and then we'll close. I think Steve Kerr is not a great coach, but I do think he's a manager of great talent.
Yes.
Great talent.
Yes.
And let's just be honest. Coach Bud could have won a championship with those Golden State teams.
Man, it's a lot of people who could have won a championship with those Golden State teams.
So it wasn't that you made something out of nothing. You allowed something that was something already and added more pieces to that something and made something better.
Yeah. I often think about coaches like Don Nelson, who won all those games that he won, even though he didn't win championships. He never really had the superior team. He just was a superior coach.
Never.
And his teams were always right there knocking at the door. A lot of it was based on his coaching ability.
Right. I agree. So listen, another great show. Meet us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for the #1 faith-based sports talk show in the entire world, right here on Joy 1340 and 98.7 FM for the #1 faith-based sports talk show in the entire world. Into his court. Until next week, have an amazing week. Peace.
Peace.